let's start the show.
Whiskey flows like a river wide. Martelle, Mike, and Randy by my side. Buckhorn tails wild as the night. Pour another glass. Let's take
Here's the thing, though. If you buy a Maserati, are you going to go get the AutoZone brand oil put in it?
But you better work, bitch. You want a Maserati?
Honestly, I'm probably going to go get the Auto brand.
She's listening up.
Brittany. That's right.
We're almost back to voting for Mel. Not quite, but we're getting there.
You better
Yeah,
work,
it's like
bitch.
now it's a tougher decision. What's her stance on this policy?
I'll watch your speeches and I'll know.
Oh, I was
Yeah.
on NBC4 this week, so.
Yeah, actually, Liz saw you.
Did you?
Yeah.
Did Liz?
Yeah, it was funny. I went to work. She was like, "Well, NBC4 is going to be at the house at 2." So I'm like,
I'm
"Okay,
going to fit them in between 2 different work meetings. It's fine.
yeah." Our life is.
Excuse me, NBC4. Don't know if that's
Liz
the
goes-
time for you in my busy schedule.
Liz goes, Melissa was on TV today. I'm like, yeah, what is she running her fucking mouth about?
Oh, I'm sure you weren't the only one. I saw
was
the
just-
comments on.
I could care less.
Oh, there were comments.
Oh God, there
There's
were comments.
always comments.
Always
I know there's
comments.
always
Don't
comments,
never
but
read
I
the
didn't-
comments.
I only
I
saw.
stopped reading the comments but it's been a while. So like a year ago, I was in the news constantly making
Yeah.
comments, and then
I
our daughter
live
turned
for the
18,
comments.
so she wasn't as impacted by a lot of the legislation. So I was like, other people can enjoy this spotlight, and they need to hear from those families. And,
I love the comments.
but I think when Ohio, the judge ruled to ban gender affirming care and girls playing on sports teams, trans girls playing on sports teams, I wanted to give the families a break that were immediately impacted. So of course I talked about how our family really benefited from those things. And so, yeah, I jumped back in to the news and remembered, dear God, this is super stressful. I'm
Why did
glad
I do
that-
Where did you see the comments on
Facebook, the
on the
NBC4.
Facebook? Okay, I'll
So
have
I
to go
have
check.
I have a funny video I want to play before we wrap up, but I also have a serious question I want to ask now because I've been wanting to ask you both because of your situation because I've not lived your guys' life.
How dare you call it a situation?
It's totally a situation.
The situation from Jersey Shore, which I actually never watched a single second of.
I've watched
I yelled at
moments.
a boss
I've not-
for calling my mom's death a situation.
Oh, that's
Oh,
so
fuck
toned
that.
down.
Oh, I fucking lit into his ass. He was like, in your current situation. I'm like, oh, my mom's death, you're considering that a fucking situation?
Yeah, we could be better with our words for sure.
And his wife actually pulled, well, I'm just giving you shit. But his wife
I'm used
actually
to that.
pulled it.
I was over that.
Yeah.
When she said we could be better with the words, I'm like, we could be. I'm often not, but I don't intentionally.
No.
Like if I said sorry about your situation, it's not because I'm like, oh, your mom died.
No,
what
no,
you
I
do?
know, I
You know,
know.
it's like there's sometimes people are like, how dare you? And I'm like, what'd I say?
No,
like
this
I
guy-
just generally don't
This guy was a cock.
think about it that way.
Like, massive fucking cock.
I mean-
and his wife pulled him into her office and had a talk with him.
I
And he
do-
owned the business.
I do feel like this is a whole other show, and definitely Drunk Mel. That when we're
I don't know if I want drunk Mel or
being-
sober Mel.
When we're being pissy about dudes and we're calling them massive cocks, which is like
A backhanded
a
compliment.
backhanded compliment.
Okay. He was a gigantic asshole.
That's better.
But that's like calling
Prolapse,
somebody a
He was
dick.
prolapsed.
If I say-
he was a fucking rosebud of an asshole.
But if I say that guy's a dick, you know what I
He
mean.
was a uterine prolapse. All right, go ahead.
If I said that guy's a dick, you know
Yeah.
what I mean.
Yeah.
No, I didn't
That's
say
how
he
I
had a
take it.
massive cock. He
Yeah, that's
was
how
a
I take
cock.
it. If he says he's a giant cock,
Yeah.
it's the
He
same
was
as
an
calling him a dick.
enormous vagina.
So that's
See, and then we.
It was very gushy.
it was moist, the moistest of the moist.
It's that sound that Mike
Smelled
made
like-
earlier.
What was that sound, Mike?
Don't do it, Michael.
Do it, Mike.
Fucking
It went like
Pussy.
this.
He did.
That's sorry. I just threw that out.
Smells like sourdough bread in here.
Anyway, back to my question, and I'm just going to ask it, and I'm not giving my opinion on it. I have no dog in the fight, if you will, no foot in the door, no shoe in the pantry. I don't
That's
know what
the
the
fucking
terms are.
question.
Thank you.
When the Penn State swimmer, who was the 300th best male, went and became the #1 swimming female because he chose to, because he identified as a female. I'm trying to watch my words respectfully, because they chose to be a female. I don't care, but when you go from not being above average in something, identifying as the other gender who is, I'm trying very hard to choose my words because I'm trying to be super respectful.
Sure, I get that. Thank you.
So be
Are
patient
we
with me.
talking college level sports?
Yes.
Any sports.
But this specific
instance was
situation-
college.
College,
The
okay.
Penn State swimmer, I
Yeah.
believe.
I've also got the instance with the MMA fighter, but that's can be another discussion some
Or
other time.
you mean the Olympic boxer?
No,
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 there
no.
was an MMA fighter.
There's an MMA fighter that almost fucking killed a girl because
Literally
he cracked
beat
her
the shit
skull.
out of somebody.
He Mike Tysoned her.
Okay.
And
She?
he literally
She.
she.
Okay. Remember,
I-
we respect
again,
what people wish to be called.
I'm trying to be respectful,
You're fine.
You're fine.
and I'm not drunk, so it's hard. If I was drunk, I could at least be like, "Well, I'm drunk. Sorry." But this is not something I've lived through, so I don't always think about my words in this manner. How is it fair to the other biological females? Is that a proper term?
You're fine.
That I
Yes.
should- okay.
I get what you mean. Yeah.
How is it fair to a biological adult MMA fighter or a biological collegiate swimmer who was top in the country or in the world or whatever when somebody who a year before, I don't know if I want to say identified
I feel
as
like it
male,
was 2 years before because she had
a
to
year,
sit
2
out
years,
time.
10
Yeah.
years previously.
Yeah.
I'll say previously. And I don't know if I want to say identified, but was classified. Is that fair?
Yes.
That's
As
fine.
a male.
I know what you mean.
Yeah.
Competed against biological females and absolutely dominated them. The swimming's one thing. The MMA fighting where he almost fucking killed a girl and literally cracked her skull and caused life-altering injuries is another to me.
I don't know
But-
that, but I will look into that.
Yeah, I can
So-
share the news on that one. But what are your thoughts on that?
So I think what I fall
I
back
guess it's a
to.
stretch, but I'm listening.
You're fine. What I fall back to is that you're not an expert and I'm not an expert. No one at this table is an expert. We actually have experts in the field who developed the rules on when someone who was assigned male at birth and then transitions into a transgender woman, they have really strict rules on what their lab work has to look like. So when our daughter wanted to play sports, high school sports, not even like, we're not talking college, we're talking like junior high and high school sports, she had to go through rigorous lab work and share lab work with people who did not know her with the Ohio
Ohio
High
Athletic
School Athletic Association.
OSHA.
Yeah, OSHA.
OHSA.
Correct.
Yeah.
And so,
Not the
the
Not OSHA as in like
Occupational.
Olympics, the Olympics,
is this okay, OSHA?
Yeah.
the Olympics are the same, where you have to demonstrate that you've
do
been
not have a competitive
that
advantage.
you do not have a biologic advantage over cisgender. So girls that were assigned female at birth and still identify as females, so that you do not have a biologic advantage. I think what is most frustrating for me as a cisgender woman, assigned female at birth and still identifies as a female, is that when we see males in their field who have biologic advantages, I'll talk
Michael
about Michael
Phelps.
Phelps as an example, that when we have those conversations, it is always about God-given gifts and God-given talents, and look, his body was just made to do this. It is very hard for me that whether you are a cisgender female or a transgender female, there's so much more comments about, well, that's not fair, and they have a biologic advantage and they have a genetic advantage. We'll talk about the Olympic boxer, where so much of that is this is a cisgender female, so assigned female at birth, has always identified as female, and that people are just like, well, she has this
She's-
genetic advantage that other women don't have, and that's not fair. But when Michael Phelps has it, it's totally okay. So my issue is the female body oftentimes is so much more regulated and legislated and inspected than male bodies, and it doesn't matter if you are a biologic female or a transgender female, it is a double standard. And so it is a complex issue. I will give you that.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And there's a lot of things that the science still has to catch up to, a lot of these things. And I'm not saying that that we're there yet, but the conversation is needs to be more complex because our world and our science has changed and we know more now.
Yeah.
And
So
we
I
are
will.
continuing to learn more. Now, I the problem I have is it's not the fact that Leah Thomas
I'll look it up.
won the NCAA championship. The major focus was the race against Riley Gaines, because Riley Gaines has become kind of the spokesman for this. And in the race that she was with Riley Gaines, they tied for 5th place. And Riley Gaines was upset because the award went to Leah Thomas and not her.
Originally, she got to hold the trophy, even though both of them ended up getting the trophy.
Yeah.
Leah Thomas got to hold the trophy.
Yeah. And so she has become one of the spokespeople for this movement. She was not at the top of her game. She wasn't winning meets on a regular basis, but she felt cheated because of this specific thing.
Okay.
So there's part of that is a sour grapes argument, and she realized quickly that she could bank off of that.
So can I?
Yeah, go ahead.
Sorry, but I don't want to move on before I lose my
Yeah.
train of thought because
Yeah.
I'll be gone.
I get it.
With the Michael Phelps thing, I wouldn't say he has a God-given gift. I would say he has a biological advantage over any giving birth, assigned at birth female. I'm trying to use the right words
Sure.
again. Forgive me. You guys know.
Yeah.
I think know
Yeah,
me
I
well
know
enough
that
to
your
know.
intentions are good. You're
Thank
fine.
you.
Yeah.
You don't have to worry about that.
Michael Phelps worked very hard to accomplish what he did.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
When I tell people I have a God-given gift as a bass player to accomplish what I've done as a bass player, that's because part of my beliefs, but I also trained playing guitar starting at the age of 6. My company, which is my company, my family, like I said, was huge in the Southern gospel world. I have my own feelings about Southern gospel. I don't need to hear anybody else's, trust me. But in that realm,
I heard they have great buses.
and they did have a great bus. Yeah. They also bought it for pennies and had to remodel it and repaint it themselves. And my uncle happened to own a body shop. And
Side note.
but yeah, but I grew up in music, so I was working hard my whole life to get to where I've been paid to play. I've played professionally. I've played on multiple albums in multiple styles. Am I a rock star? No. If I was, you guys won't be allowed to talk to me. But
Can you work harder?
I was just talking about Martelle, not you guys.
I need you to work harder.
But right, but for somebody, and again, I wasn't even talking the Olympics. I know that's the most recent hurrah, and I looked and I went, born with the XY, but had female genitalia or
But can have a
whatever.
child. Can conceive a child.
I went, it's kind of you're splitting hairs to me at that point. I saw it as a non-issue. And she ended up losing the gold anyway, didn't
No, I
she?
think she won the gold.
Did she win it?
Yep.
I thought
Fucking-
she got beat. Somebody, I read an article.
She won the
but
gold.
The previous, in her previous Olympics,
They banned her from playing. It wasn't the
No,
Olympics.
it wasn't the Olympics. It was,
some
it
other
There was some other international
it
competition.
was-
I saw
yeah.
that.
Russian.
yeah,
But,
after she beat a
well,
Russian fighter.
I mean, it's,
Yeah, so I don't.
That's a
trust
whole other
Russians.
conversation,
I
right?
don't-
We're not drunk
now
enough
we're getting
for
back
that.
into politics.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're not drunk enough for that. But when the one that got me, because I train in Krav Maga, I trained with an MMA fighter. We've touched on this last episode, this episode, and when I watched
It's Krav Maga, you idiot.
Krav Maga,
Krav Maga.
it all makes sense. But when I saw somebody go in and literally almost beat somebody to death, who was 100% male, assigned at birth, with male testosterone, with male parts, and just decided, I'm getting my ass kicked. Hold on. I'm not discrediting the reasoning. I'm not going to put myself in their shoes, even though they're barefoot in the octagon. But when I see a sanctioned MMA fight where somebody almost dies because of how outmatched they are, and not because they're the same weight, which they were, they're governed the same way by the same governing body, which they were. I thought if that other girl was my daughter and worked just as hard, trained just as hard, got to the same weight class, everything else was all equal, but this other person hit her one time so hard it split a skull in half. I thought to myself, I went, is that okay? And I don't know that. I'm not smart enough to answer that. That's why I have
Yeah.
questions for you guys. Have lived a far different life than I have. You've dealt with, and my kids are young. I don't know what the future has, but that's why I ask these questions to people that do, because people look at people like me who are white, evangelical Christian males, the way I was brought up, and they like to make assumptions about me. And I'm sitting here going, hold on. I want to learn more so I can form a better opinion. I don't want to assume anything. That's why I don't vote just Republican. I don't vote just on one issue. I don't vote just on...
We're still chatting.
No matter how I was raised or how people identify me, I like to look at everything and ask these questions because they're tough and people don't like to ask them. They just like to yell.
Right. People do not like
From
nuance.
both sides.
Yeah.
Yeah.
People like to yell. And I'm not saying you guys yell.
I mean, I have my moments.
I'm not saying that. And I'm sure you've been pushed to your limits. But people like to just yell and not listen. Mel's like, yeah, we're doing this. But that's why I asked these questions, because when I looked at that fight, I went, holy shit, like somebody could have watched their daughter die solely because... and again,
solely because we don't... Because we're boiling it down to one distinct difference.
Remember that I'm trying to carefully choose my
Sure,
words, and
I
maybe
get
I'm
that.
not communicating clearly, and I'll own that.
Yeah.
But when I look at weightlifting, when I look at... My wife grew up a tomboy. Literally in the mountains, when she was pregnant with Huck 7 months, I came home and said, that groundhog is out here that's digging up under the cabin. She grabbed a 12-gauge shotgun, barefoot and pregnant, literally, and walked it out to me so I didn't lose sight of this thing. She will squat and pee in the woods. She will hike, hunt, fish, skin any game. She's a tomboy. But she looks at it and goes, there's things I can't do. You're just stronger than me.
Sounds like a hillbilly.
And absolutely. Yeah.
Well,
And then shown it.
I think I would add
and
this.
I would say that biologically, again, I'm trying to use my words. I'm not saying you're wrong and I'm right. I'm not saying anything's wrong or right. I'm just saying biologically, men and women from birth, genetically, are built differently, right? Are they? I'm asking a genuine question here.
So I will say this. Yes, and there is a wide variance wide variance.
Sorry, that's a bad joke.
In
it's
what
very
is
clever.
normal for like we look at Olympians who are women who are killing records. You go to any CrossFit gym and you've got these tiny little girls who are kicking the asses of men who outweigh them, have been doing it longer. Like there is a huge variance.
If
in
I walk into any gym, every woman will outperform me.
But I'm just saying, not just you.
No,
like
I
there
know.
are, I can think of,
The human
several-
body is a variant.
Right. There's a
I agree.
huge
I'm
variation
saying-
in what people can do. And I think that we boil it down to very specific measures that we need to rethink now because we know more. We have better ideas of, we have better ways to measure these things. But at the end of the day,
No, I want some, but
the way that we evaluate
Wait.
women,
Get some first.
cisgender women and transgender women, is a very different conversation than how
I'm
we
sorry.
evaluate men.
Yeah.
sorry, one, I just cut you off. Sorry,
Yeah.
two, I got distracted while you were speaking. That was rude. I apologize. I respect
Repeat
who you
everything
are.
you said.
I respect you. I respect Mike. Martelle's here too.
Fair.
I was saying the same thing he'd say about me. So I love
That's-
Martelle.
I
Martelle's
wouldn't say that. But
Martelle.
I got some of that where it's in here.
So, and again, this is why I'm asking these questions.
Yeah, I
Because
appreciate-
I'm not a doctor in anything. I
did
think
say at a
that-
Holiday Inn Express last night.
I did.
But I did say, yeah, right.
I'm obviously in the worst shape of my life physically. When I taught Krav, and I took my level 1 test and leveled up, I decided I want to be an instructor. And I thought, cool, I'm level 2. I can teach level 1. I've been doing it for years now. Then they went, oh, you want to be an instructor? And I was like, oh. So my trainer, Sean, Aaron Giannetti, there's a
Michael
plethora.
Vick.
Sue, the Burtons, Michael Vick. Bobby Brown beat me. But
Chris Brown.
I got all the Browns
He can dance though.
if he wants to.
You could leave his friends
There we
behind.
go. Thank you.
Yeah. Circle
But,
back.
I got to this point where it's like, okay, so now I'm getting tested. One of the first classes I went to watch as an instructor in training was, and I forget their names now, and I used to tell this story all the time, and I hate that I forgot it. But it's 2 black belt Krav Maga instructors, husband and wife. The husband's like 6'4", longest limbs. Also took BJJ. Like, he was just a beast. He was a machine. Super skinny, super scrawny looking. But the dude had it. He could fight. He had the technique. His wife was 5 foot nothing, weighed all about a heavy fart. And one of the drills, they were teaching a women's defense seminar. And a lot of these women came in, have never, ever thought about self-defense. Never thought about getting attacked. They lived in a nice little bubble in Old Hilliard, safe neighborhoods. And they wanted to show what you can do when you put your mind to it. And they wrapped her in a queen-size comforter, like a thick comforter, rolled her up like a burrito. And when I say rolled her up like a burrito, I mean they laid her out, rolled her once, flipped the end, rolled her again like a burrito. And her husband and 3 other black belt instructors climbed on top of her, and she fought her way out. Mm-hmm. She was the size of my thumb. So I've got mad respect for women of all shapes and sizes, and I always have. But that's the way I was raised, is respect people. But I guess when I was like 2, my mom was holding me, and I got mad, maybe 3, and I held back to hit her. My dad grabbed my arm, and that was the end of that. Different times. But I looked at her and I went, badass. Mm-hmm. So it wasn't the size. That's what I'm saying. I get where you're coming from with that. But there's also times when I look at it and I go, there are differences. By and large, there are exceptions. But by and large, there are differences. Now, my wife, and I'll tell you guys all fair, I'm not spreading her business here, and she'll tell you, but she's been through hell and back. What she has experienced physically and emotionally in our lifetime, even as a married couple, don't want it. Couldn't touch it. I'm not just talking birth. I'm talking far worse things. So I'm not saying that women are weaker because they're women, but I'm saying that generally speaking, all things equal, all things being the same, except one's biologically male, assigned at birth, one's biologically female, assigned at birth, and I don't want to just say however you say it because I'm trying to be respectful, but as respectfully as I can say it, that's the best I can do. When I see 2 of them go head-to-head in a physical competition, it seems like the biological male assigned at birth has an advantage. How great of an advantage differentiates, depending on the competition, it can differentiate. In something like high school sports, I don't care because 99.999% of them are never going past high school, and the ones that do are playing D15 college somewhere. But Little League, like in Circleville, guys and girls can play baseball. It doesn't matter who you are.
Right.
You can play baseball. You don't have to play softball. But I would say in something like an MMA fight, if I'm sending my daughter into the ring who has trained her whole life to go head-to-head in that kind of physical competition, it'd make me a little nervous seeing her go up against Mike Tyson, even if they're the same weight.
So let me ask you this, because I hear what you're saying. And thank God there are experts in the field who can apply the science and make the rules. But your daughter, who was assigned female at birth, my daughter, who was assigned male at birth, who started puberty blockers, the first sign of puberty, has not had a male puberty, never did. I guess, she's terrible at sports. She played field hockey. She ran track. She sucked. So, and she'll tell you that.
No,
she sucked.
I know. I just appreciate the honesty.
Where is
she's
the line?
terrible. It didn't matter anyway.
But here's the thing: none of us at the table are smart enough to determine what that line is.
But that's my point. So why do the people, those out there like us at this table, why are we all fighting about it?
Because it's easy to make a snap judgment because people do not have the time or the wherewithal or the knowledge or the desire to do the research. This isn't your life. This is our life.
Yeah.
We've lived it. And so we've had to do the research. But for, the majority of people watching the sports, this hasn't impacted them the same way. And so they see things. And I will say this, when we start legislating transgender bodies, especially transgender female bodies, it impacts cisgender women, just like it did in the Olympics here, where you've got a cisgender woman, a woman who was assigned female at birth, has lived her whole life as a female. And everyone in the world was saying, she's a man. And so she was negative, like in her lawyer, she's suing now because of what has happened to her in Paris during the Olympics. And so when we start legislating women's bodies, like it is the women who are not the typical white woman, blonde hair. I don't want to get into, too many specifics, but
I don't like blondes anyway.
well, I'm just saying that there are women who do not fit the Western standards of beauty who are most impacted by legislation like this.
There have been several instances of girls who do not fit the typical ideal of what a girl or a woman should look like, who have been impacted by this. Like your more masculine looking woman beat my daughter, wife, whatever. So they obviously.
I mean, if you beat my wife, it's probably different because she's not an Olympic boxer,
right?
So
but
I mean,
there
probably
got
bizarre.
but there's so
what you're
they
saying,
obviously have had an advantage. We are in the somewhat rare situation that we have twins who are both born male at birth, identical, and have branched out very differently. They both ran cross country. They, Murphy chose not to go into high school sports. Connor, for 3 years, played field hockey.
Our transgender daughter, Connor,
was a bench warmer all 3 years.
She was a great bench warmer, though.
She was a fantastic cheerleader.
She was.
So
amazing.
According to what most people think, it's like she had an advantage over everybody on the field. Because of the testing she had to go through, she had less testosterone in her tests than all the girls on the team. So she was
at a disadvantage.
And so, it's such a nuanced argument that there's no clear path to say this. Like Melissa was saying earlier, Michael Phelps generates lactic acid at half the rate that most people do. He's like double jointed in his shoulders. He's long limbed. That is a genetic advantage. So why is he not penalized for that like other people? So it's
I see
what
that.
scares me most about this conversation? Martelle is very quiet.
It doesn't.
I'm just listening.
It doesn't mean because this is Martelle's stance on it is taking the information, feel it out, and that's how he forms his opinion.
We're not going to solve it at this table.
No.
And I don't intend to. But I wanted your guys' perspective as friends of mine who
have lived this life.
Have lived. Maybe started growing up the same way I did, but lived a very different life, like you said your two kids did,
and
they took different routes.
Melissa calling me out for being quiet. I have
Great. Here we go.
I'm scared.
No. I have opinions on it, and I respect your guys' stance on everything you've gone through and what
If we didn't, we wouldn't be podcasting together.
I mean, it's
and they wouldn't welcome us here. If we were like
so. As far as
the most offensive flag in your guys' yard is the buffalo flags. That's
right. I mean, it's not Dallas Cowboys, so it's a step up.
Yeah.
Cowboys fans are the worst.
So
yes, you are.
So just kind of touching everything that we've talked here. Here's where my stance are on all the things. The MMA stuff. You've mentioned like there's the science behind the science behind. And obviously, I'm not a doctor. And last night, I was drunk as shit, and I did not sleep at a Holiday Inn Express.
That you know of.
That I'm aware of. I don't remember going to bed, so there's a possibility. But men and women are built different. There is bone density. There is muscle structure.
That's what.
That's what I was trying to. whether puberty blockers from the instance of puberty or not, that makes no difference one way or another when it comes to that MMA fight. Also, with the cisgender boxer who has an XY chromosome, she's built more like a man. She has that bone density, she has that muscle structure, but she is a cis woman who I believe cannot have children.
I think she can.
I read she was born, and it was kind of a "do you want to raise her as a boy or girl" thing the doctors asked.
She has a vagina.
No, she has a vagina, but
she has ovaries.
But I heard that
she doesn't have fallopian tubes or something
but I
along
would like
I
those
was
to
going to
lines.
say,
point
I've read
out,
so
we
many
are-
different things that I can't.
We are
But-
literally talking about her fallopian tubes.
Yes.
And her ability
So-
to have children. And there are
But-
many women who have all of that in anatomy and all of that equipment who cannot.
Right.
That's-
So, but taking
We
that
could
all
touch
aside,
on that in our story, even.
Yeah.
Even though we finally
where
had kids. Yes.
where I'm going is she has the
This is
XY
making me real
chromosome.
nervous. Sorry.
She has the XY chromosome.
It's me.
And she's got
Do I
basically.
make you nervous, Randy?
No,
No,
I'm afraid that.
Do I make you Randy nervous?
Do I make you Randy nervous?
Where I'm going with that, the fallopian tubes, all that.
I just don't trust me, guys.
Here nor there. It's she's got the XY chromosome, so she's female, but she's built like literally like a man.
And
So
that
she has-
one is why I said
different.
exclude
Yeah,
the Olympic
she-
because
so-
I'm not talking about that because I'm not smart enough to.
Well, and
it's like
so. Whatever. She was banned from.
was the Adam's apple picture real?
No.
Because that was really
No.
confusing to me.
No.
Because I was
And
like,
women
oh, she's
have
born with
Adam's
a vagina,
apples
but
too,
she
by
has
the way.
XY. So I'm like,
Everyone
Mine's
has
not
an-
visible.
Everyone has an Adam's apple.
I know,
and
but-
Adam's apple does not help you lift heavier weight.
No.
Yeah.
So
depends on what you're lifting with.
This is a good
Try
point.
lifting with your Adam's apple. We'll
Right?
see.
the boxer in the Olympics, she is a woman. I got roped into that shit. Like the
You
minute that I
mentioned
saw
that
it, yeah. I got
Yeah.
roped into it and I'm like, fuck this, I gotta stop. I had to look into the whole thing.
What's that? Yeah, I
It's
didn't
a
get
woman
into any discussions
and-
online.
I didn't either.
But I was
Oh my
following
God,
it.
But can we just everyone's asking what is a woman? No one is asking what is a man. It fucking pisses me off.
What's a man?
That it is all
No.
focused on women.
And you're right. And
fuck
it
everybody.
drives me nuts.
Okay,
fucking
well,
leave us
if you
alone.
would, maybe we wouldn't have so many questions, Mel.
pisses me off.
So-
Like,
Don't tell Beth I
fucking
said that.
Don't
Literally-
worry about my body. Don't
So-
worry about my body.
If-
That's
if
remind me
I'm-
of legislation in that quote. Remember that.
If I'm labeling it a guy's XY and a woman's what?
But
X, so
But it's
if it were
not that.
so that easy, but it's not.
again,
know,
you're saying
I know.
but
that's-
Martelle's sitting there saying, "I'm not a doctor. This is just what I understand."
This is what
I
it is.
appreciate the
So-
conversation, and
Yeah.
there's nuance, and I appreciate that all of us here
Well,
are.
so-
this is the
are
kind of conversation that
jumping into
others
the
need to
nuance.
have.
Yes.
Yeah.
Agreed.
Oh,
we're
yeah,
just finally we're just sacking up and doing it.
So
No offense.
I hope
So-
our listeners are drunk with us.
so the
May you also
to the
grab a
MMA
bourbon.
thing.
fallopian tube up with it. It's
Yeah.
screwed up again.
So to the MMA
I don't know what to
thing,
say.
I don't believe, and it can go any way with sports, but with combat sports in particular, I don't think a trans whatever, whether
Guy or girl.
guy, girl, tree, don't fucking care. I don't think
I wanna
that
I want to see a fighter get out like I am Groot.
it
What
could
do you mean
happen.
by that? I am Groot.
I am Groot, but
Are
I
you
don't.
male or female? I am Groot.
I don't think a male who trans to female should fight a female just because
But-
of the differences in
But the
body
inverse,
structure.
should a
No,
female who transitioned male be able to say, "I want to fight that dude"?
no.
Okay,
Well, I think-
Because
it's
that's even
and that
happened
goes
too,
back to what you're
where-
saying, why is nobody asking?
Well,
that
I think
question?
there was an excellent case in Texas where
Yes.
a female
down in the heart of Texas.
transitioned to male.
you.
And because of Texas laws, he was only able to compete against females. But according to the laws, she was female.
He was
Bo-
female.
He was female, born female at birth, transitioned to male, and because of the Texas laws, he could only compete against women, and that is now used against him.
Yeah, and I don't think that should be the case. I think
because, as Texas would say, she has an advantage. Well, no, he has an advantage because he is taking testosterone supplements and he is doing the things to make him feel like who he is. But because of the laws, he is beating the shit out of the people who he
Cisgender
has to
females.
feed.
Yeah.
Right.
So
Let's
no,
do this. If you're
and-
taking anything besides whiskey and cigars, like they did in baseball in the 30s and older, you shouldn't be allowed to compete in anything. If
So-
you're not Babe Ruth scarfing down 9 cheeseburgers for
Yeah.
a homer, get out of here.
I could use a cheeseburger.
was
right
hot.
now.
I could too.
I've had enough whiskey at this
But
point that I could use a cheeseburger.
I don't think that. I think that they're honestly, and I don't. This isn't a dig at anybody, and I think there should be trans categories for combat sports. And like I said, that could go for any sport. Like, I mean, we have girls that play football. I don't give a shit one way or another, but they're also not getting hit by the guys that weigh 300 fucking pounds in our high school. Like, they're typically kickers or whatever the other case is. Like, they're just not getting tackled by the other team's
Well, and that brings me
fucking
to another-
linebackers.
Sorry. I
And
want to touch on
defensemen.
that too.
So
Help me remember that too, Mel.
it's one of those things. Like, I'm on the fence because I don't have a dog in the fight, and I really don't give a shit. Like, I don't care that, anybody is playing anything. I just don't want to see people get hurt. It's a safety factor for me. I don't want to see people get hurt.
I get that.
I agree with that because when I'm
understand.
watching
But, like-
Ohio State football, I'm very passionate about. It's well known. I don't hate everybody. I try
No.
not to be the obnoxious Buckeye. But when we're playing somebody from the other team's gotten hurt, and I see people in line like, yeah, that's what you get. I'm like,
No.
that's not how I want to
No,
win.
that's not.
I don't want to see
ever
their
wanna
star
see-
quarterback go down as a 19-year-old college kid and lose his freaking career that he's worked for 19 years to build.
Yeah, I don't want to see
Even
anybody get
just
hurt.
because he's not on my team. He's from Oregon and now he plays for Alabama. It has nothing to do with where you're from, what your creed is. The dude got hurt.
But can you also recognize that if like a dude did that to a dude, we'd be like, oh man, that's unfortunate. If a trans female did that to a cisgender female, that is a whole different conversation and the standards are different.
I would agree with that statement.
Yeah, I would
say
absolutely. Well,
it's different.
that goes back to
And
the
so-
MMA thing. Like,
That's literally what we're
Right.
talking about now.
it's literally this guy.
But that again,
So-
Jack Tatum killed a guy on the NFL field, and he's very regretful for doing so. He didn't mean to. But had he killed a woman on the field, would people have different feelings?
So there are a couple instances where a female kicker has beaten out a male kicker
yeah.
on a football
Our friend's
team.
daughter did it at Tates Valley for 4 years, and she broke records.
Right.
Well, and
so,
where I land-
so at that
As far as
point,
a
it's
kicker
like,
goes-
is it fair that like a female is on a male's team?
Yes. I'm all I'm all for anybody.
I
Like-
want it to be equal.
I just don't want people getting injured. So, and,
Right.
like if
If she can go out
But do
and
you
play
recognize
linebacker,
that like equal is an imaginary concept?
it is just like time.
Oh shit! Like our listeners are like, what the fuck?
We're
are they
2 hours.
talking-
We're
And
almost
we're
2
like,
hours into
we,
the show.
we started off
So-
at Deadpool and
And we're-
porn, and
but
now we're
we're
here.
gonna wrap up on a fun note. But
But-
God damn
define
it, Dr. McLaren's in the house.
So here, so when it comes,
but you'd have to define equal for me. And again, there's different cases and instances.
Right.
I think it's just
So-
deeper than when I say equal. I don't want to see special privilege because she's a girl. I'm not talking transgender. I'm
Right.
saying, well, she doesn't have to run as far because she's a girl.
Well, and-
she
oh,
doesn't
I
have
give,
to run
I
as far
give
because she's a
Brandon
girl.
and Jimmy shit for that
Oh,
because the girls only have to do 400 meters and the guys have to do 500 meters on a fucking rower. Do 500 fucking meters, women,
Well,
or
where
guys
I
do 400
land
meters.
and there's
on
going to
it
be plenty of
is-
women
and
who beat
I
the
scale
guys.
stuff.
This is the
I've never.
our knowledge has gone beyond our rules.
Yes.
And our rules need to catch up with
So-
the science of today.
Can I touch on that before I forget?
Sure.
This goes back to legislation. None of this should be legislated. Period.
Yes,
Now, 100%
Absolutely.
Not
I
I.
agree
I don't
with
care.
that.
I don't care what Texas says. I don't care what Ohio says. I don't care what the federal government says.
Well, Ohio
Morality issues. The government should not tell me who I can marry when, as long as it's two consenting adults. I do have that stipulation.
Please remember that in November.
I want
have
to
a
marry
problem.
someone who is not stipulated.
I have a problem. I have a problem with pedophilia.
You have a dog.
I mean, I think everyone has a problem.
Well, and here's the well,
Not everyone.
Not
Otherwise,
everyone.
it wouldn't be an issue, and we wouldn't be
But-
talking about
I mean,
it.
I feel
but
like
here's the thing: there are how many states that still legislate marriage to somebody who is under the age of 18?
Again, I said there should not be morality issues. That becomes a legality issue to
Yeah.
me. That is, but and here's why I have a personal conflict, guys. Can I be open and honest with you?
Yes.
I don't think somebody the age of 18 should be sent off to war on minimum the kind of salaries they are. I don't think we should be given the right to vote at 18 because, well, shit, you can't drink or smoke when you're 18 because you're too young, but you can go to war and vote.
Yeah.
It doesn't make sense to me.
I don't think you should get
logically.
your driver's license at 16 either.
I really don't. But shit, where was I going with that? Martell threw me off.
I don't know.
Morality. 18,
the
vote.
marrying and the pedophilia and the state laws and this and that. I would rather see more state laws because that's easier to circumnavigate and pick a different state to live in while still maintaining a stronger country overall, I think. Again, I'm not the smartest man in the box, but your mom's box. But I had to throw
Kevin,
it
what do you
anywhere.
think?
Good job.
He's either playing Candy Crush or something. He's looking at porn from the 70s. Like, did it really look like my brother's beard?
Yeah.
God, that clam.
But I don't think the government should be involved in any of this, period. I also have an issue with the fact that people we perceive as kids are not allowed to make certain decisions, but are allowed to make others that will affect
The
not
rest
just
of their
themselves,
lives.
but others. But it will affect the course of their life. So I have this problem with, and it's an internal struggle. I don't want to say I have a problem with it because that means like I'm against it.
Right, you're wrestling
I have
with
an
it.
internal struggle with. I don't think somebody at 18 can make a smart enough decision to vote. I don't think I have enough life experience because I now realize I never did.
Every 18-year-old.
I don't think.
Blanket rule.
Yeah.
I don't think that at 16 you're smart enough to drive.
So what is the right age?
I don't know.
Sure.
I'm
Okay.
Well-
smart enough to know that I'm not smart enough.
Well, and
that's my
human
point. But if we're going to say you can't drink or smoke till 21, let's start there.
I have the rebuttal to that.
But that comes back to the puberty blockers, because then I go, well, wait, if they haven't had enough experience to do that, am I also saying they don't have enough experience to do this? So I struggle with this dichotomy of is it all or nothing?
So what do you think
And-
puberty blockers do exactly?
Again, I'm not smart enough to know all this.
That's okay.
I've read,
Yeah.
but every time I read something, I have to take it with a grain of salt. Every time I hear something, I have to take it with the fact that it comes from somebody of that particular instance and that their life experience, good or bad or indifferent, for or against. Today, somebody ring a doorbell. Never happens. Nobody comes over unannounced anymore. I pull up the camera. Beth answered the door. I was in another room, and I said,
Petition guy?
No, it was some lady. See Beth talking. I'm like, okay, not a threat. I went back to watching. I think I was watching the Reds game or something. I was like, whatever. So hey, who was that? Oh, it's somebody pro-life. Now, earlier today, I was in a group chat. We were talking politics, and somebody talked about pro-life, pro-choice. I said, I'm not pro-life or pro-choice. Evangelical Christians that know me would like to say, if you don't vote for anybody that's pro-life, you're wrong. You're going to hell.
Right, you're
this, that.
pro-abortion.
Yeah.
I'm not pro anything except pro not my effing business.
I'm con life.
If I believe in the God that I know, it's between that person and God. It's not between me and my government and my vote and that person and God. If I believe in the God that I believe in, the God of Abraham,
I need
then
more
it's between
bourbon
them
for this.
people.
What do you want?
If I don't believe in that God,
What do you want?
well, but here's the thing. If I don't believe in that God, it's still not my business.
Right.
So either way, what's it matter what I think?
Right, and I so appreciate that.
So
perspective.
it shouldn't be legislated.
Right.
If you want to marry a dude and you're a dude, sweet. You're both adults. You're not hurting anybody else.
Who's the power
Do
bottom?
what you want. I don't care.
What do I need to get as a gift?
Does- Who wears the thong? That's all.
The-
You know.
the only
I figure I'm
thing-
coming to this wedding.
The only thing I will add about state laws is that it creates then a patchwork where what happens then if you are someone who does not have. So we had to emergently leave Florida. And we had.
That was probably just a good thing to do anyway. But
Well, thank God we had a family to rely on who could help pay for, literally
And
pay
what if you
for. Right. What
Well,
if you
and
don't?
like going back to your point, if you don't like it, just
Dude,
move
seriously,
states.
bourbon.
There are people who do not have.
I agree.
That
100%.
ability.
And I've told people in our situation, we're fortunate to have the family and the tribe around us we do. But here's my thing. Do I think that's the...
What am I drinking? What am I?
The timing on that was
Right. It was.
Here's the thing. But here's the thing,
Dick
though.
Knob Creek.
It's a Knob Creek rye.
Here's the thing. I'm not saying that's the answer. I'm saying I would prefer
seems
that
appropriate.
over
Yeah.
the federal
Maybe a little
government
bit.
telling all of us we all have to do one thing, because that gives us no choice. If I have a choice to live in Ohio or California
Or
Oh, I ain't living in
Utah.
fucking California.
or
Yeah,
Utah,
right.
we talked about that before you came in, I think.
I'm drinking.
No, you're drinking now. You're gonna be soaking later. But
Oh my god!
it took her a second.
Oh,
But
that
I'm
was
saying-
a good
That was
a good circle back.
I'm saying.
I swear to God, like I might get fired just being on this fucking show.
No, you won't. No one listens.
Well, the good news is
Yeah.
We only have
We're-
like 12 listeners.
the good news
And we
is
love
we're
each of
super
you.
famous and we will definitely pay you.
Yeah.
Same salary, I promise. But my point is
adding to
that
the ride.
there's still a better option than one blanket everybody must do. I don't think the government at any level should be involved in any of this, period.
I don't think
That's
the government should be involved in a lot of shit they're involved in.
Amen.
100%.
That's my point. But if given the choice of you can't do anything versus you can do certain things in certain places, again, this is a lesser two evils, which I hate.
Right.
I'm going to take if I can find the means, I've got a chance. There's hope.
Yeah.
Versus there's no hope. I'm screwed.
I just wish that people would just fucking mind their own business.
I think
that's what it boils
the
down to.
biggest thing.
Because while I was raised a certain way and I have beliefs partially based on the way I was raised, but also on looking at my faith and questioning it as I got older.
And good for
It
you
became somebody
for
who
having
taught-
for having the courage.
Well,
to
it became
question.
when I got called to teach the faith, I went, okay, I fought it for 6 months, and my youth pastor said, you need to get on this ship. You're called to do something, do it. And I said, I can't because I don't believe XYZ. I don't believe if you have a drink of alcohol, you're going to hell no matter what you say or do.
Mm-hmm.
I don't believe that if you vote for a Democrat, you're going to hell no matter what you say or do.
Sorry,
I
bro.
don't
You got
believe
tattoos.
if you have
You
tattoos
can't be
and piercings.
You just can't be buried in a
And
Jewish cemetery. You're
Dude,
fine.
I used to rock a shirt when I fit in it that said something about I love Jesus and tattoos, and like I shared memes
I
all the
love
time.
Jesus,
like,
but I drink a
I shared
little.
one last week that said if you like heavy metal, get off my page. Something like I don't need sinners in my life or something. Like I do that all the time but I got to a point where I started going, who is God? If I believe Jesus Christ is the Son of God and what the Bible says, am I believing God or am I believing Western society's interpretation of who God says he is?
And that's the thing.
So am I following people or am I following God? And once I started going, hold on a second. Mm-hmm. It doesn't matter what you wear. God hung out with, and again,
Yeah.
everybody I say,
I mean,
well, God went
sometimes
to
it
the
matters
sinners, he
what
went to the
you
prostitute,
wear.
he went to the, it does.
I mean,
No, you get
That's
you
a
get my
whole
point
Totally
though.
get what you're
Again, generalizing, but I want to, and a lot of people say, well, God went to these people, but he didn't call them to stay the same. I said, you're right, but he didn't judge them when he went to them. He loved on them. He
And-
treated them like the same as he would treat everybody else. He cast out the overly religious, the righteous.
The
rebuked
Pharisees
them.
and the Sadducees.
And I look at I
yes.
look at the actual teachings of the faith. And my cousin recommended a book, and I'm going to. Actually, I would like us all to read it, but I doubt we all will. And I've had it for 2 years, downloaded my phone, haven't read it. But it's called Jesus and John Wayne, and it speaks about how America shaped who God is in our country. And I have a meme saved on my phone that says, "This is not a Christian nation; it's a nation that you're free to be a Christian in."
Well, and I will
Now-
say American Christianity is very different
Exactly.
from the Christianity in other countries.
Because you go to another country and a 15-year-old sits down at dinner and orders a beer. That's normal there.
Yeah.
They leave church, they have a beer with their lunch. Just one. They're not getting drunk.
right.
They're not out being debaucherous. They're just drinking a beer.
Dodgers.
But we'll sit here and drink Coca-Cola all day and take prescription meds
And eat
then
McDonald's.
point and yell at people that smoke weed and say you're going to
totally
hell.
fall off a couch.
I'm totally getting McDonald's after
And I'm-
this.
So for me, it was if I believe, and we have our own story with kids, and I will gladly share it with y'all another time. But I'm not pro-life because of our struggle. I'm pro-life in that I would love to see healthy families, happy, healthy families. I'm not pro-life or pro-choice. I don't like people that use it.
As a
I don't like people that use
sledgehammer.
abortion as a contraceptive. Wear a condom. If you did that and you still got pregnant, like we had friends, that were adults. Both were separated from previous marriages, had kids. Both were fixed. They got pregnant. Crap happens. I get it. But just like anything else that gets abused, but I'm sitting here going,
He said,
who am I to who am I to judge them though? I'm not. And our pastor, who one of his first sermons in this new church came in and he said, I've been struggling with this. And some of you may not like it, and we may lose some members, but it
y'all
needs to
are
be
gonna
touched on.
die.
And it was when homosexuality in the church became a thing. And he said, if you believe that homosexuality is sin, and if you believe that somebody could be condemned to hell for all eternity, why are they not in church with you? Why are they not at your dinner table? You will invite a drunkard, you'll invite a family member who's drug addicted, who has all these, you'll reach out to other people in the community, but somebody that's gay you won't talk to. He said, but you're saying they need Jesus. If you thought that, they'd be here with you. And it kind of made me go, you're right. It was an us or them kind of thing. It wasn't for me at the time, but most people saw it that way. And I went, why do we care what other people identify as, who they fall in love with? Whether I think it's right or wrong, who cares? That's not up to me. God knows I ain't him.
I just read a thing, and it was like, if you feel like this person is truly like in line with, Christianity or how people think, like, what fruit do they identify with?
A big old banana.
Tomato.
Fruit. So the fruit of the Spirit.
Okay, all right.
So the fruit of the Spirit:
Okay.
joy, peace, patience, kindness, goodness, faithfulness, gentleness,
I'm
self-control.
so impressed that
Sloth.
you rattle those off, babe.
So
I don't
like,
identify with any of those.
like, right. And so, like, you, if you don't identify with those, are you truly what the Bible is, what
Right.
you are told to be?
And I didn't mean to make this a religious discussion.
No, but
politically,
But politically,
it sways a lot of the opinions.
100%.
And a lot of, trying to choose my words carefully. In my experience, a lot of people on the right say, you're wrong because
This.
God. You're wrong because you do this. And they're looking at the speck in your eye. We're not pulling the plank out of theirs. A lot of people on the left say, you're an asshole because you believe that. And either way, I'm looking at it and going, you're both disparaging each other. You're doing the same thing. There's an hypocrisy here that we're not identifying.
Both assholes.
We have our own experiences. Why can't we come together and find common ground?
Well, and I think what you're hitting on is there is so much nuance to these conversations, but nuances do not fit into 120 characters on Twitter or X. Like
No,
social.
It's
We've made
Twi-
that. That's
right.
one thing we
Twitter.
all agree
It
on.
is Twitter.
100%, I
if
agree with you.
Elon Musk can dead name his kid, I'm gonna dead name his fucking ass.
But I come back
I don't even care
to
about that. I just think
Yeah,
X is
it's-
stupid.
everyone
X is
wants a
stupid.
sound bite. No one wants the nuanced conversation.
Yeah.
No one wants to have long.
Everybody wants the
Right.
Nobody
black
wants
and-
the 2-hour episode on a podcast.
Everybody wants the
We're
black and
almost there.
white. They don't understand that life is gray.
Why's it gotta be black and white?
What time is it?
Why can't it be purple and gold?
I hate those colors.
I need a quarter
Screw the
pounder.
Lakers. Screw LSU.
That's what Carol is.
I need a quarter pounder, but I can really only
What
do a
about red and
cheeseburger.
No, that can't do red and black either.
Yeah.
What about red and blue?
Nope.
Nope.
That's Bloods and Crips.
Turf wars. East Coast, West Coast.
Well, here's
Literally.
what I personally will wrap up with this. It's hard when these are not academic conversations, these are personal conversations because lives are impacted. But I genuinely appreciate that all of us at this table can recognize that we do not have to agree on everything. We can observe and honor that there are nuances to these conversations. And I feel like our nation would be so much farther along if we were willing to
Understand
recognize the nuance.
That'll preach.
So, Daps, thank you for truly a respectful conversation.
But that's what I've always wanted to have, and it's so hard because you can't do it online. I don't care who you are, who you know. And we talked about this with the Waltz comment about going to war. Somebody said he didn't say that. Yeah, he did.
He did.
Well, JD screwed a couch. No, he didn't. I don't like JD Vance.
He's a never Trump guy.
I don't like Trump.
I'm a never Trump.
I don't like Kamala. I don't like Waltz. I'm just sitting there objectively and going, wait, you guys are bagging on Vance 2 weeks ago for this couch thing. And now you're going, well, he didn't say that. Show me where he said that. And then I clip a link of him saying that. And nobody says anything. You go on to something else and try and attack me. I already said I didn't vote for Trump the first time. And I'm not going to the second time.
I think one of the biggest
so it's
problems...
like we need to have these discussions.
Right.
But we need to be willing to also listen.
Right.
Instead of just react. As soon as somebody types a line you don't like, you start typing your response.
We don't listen.
Read through it, process it.
We react.
We
again.
hear, but we don't listen. I think one of the biggest problems that we have right now is that we're not looking for the best person. We're looking for the least worst person.
Yes.
I've been saying that for
But that's been
7
going on
years.
since the 60s.
Yeah,
I mean,
100%.
probably the
At
people in the
least.
60s would say this has been going on since the 40s. Like,
Yeah.
I feel like
That's another thing. The generational crap
It's
ticks
been
me
going
off.
on since Washington.
Oh, back
I mean-
our generation's tougher. Yeah,
I mean, I'm just
you know
sorry.
what?
We all know that Gen X is best.
See,
I mean,
the new
Gen X-
boomers.
Yeah.
I mean, boomers were okay, but X is. I mean, we went through some shit.
Everybody
Yeah.
says you're not Gen X. Well, what makes you Gen X? We grew up with
I feel like
8 tracks to vinyl to the cassettes. I'm like,
I
me
had
too.
fucking
CDs.
laser
We
discs.
had this. I'm like, me too.
I'm
Like
just-
I
at
did
this
everything. I was born in '83. Sorry, I'm 2 years too late or
You're
3
not
years
2
too
years too late.
late.
There's
what it all
84 is the
boils
cutoff.
down to is that
I've
I've
seen
had
82.
a lot of bourbon
That's the
at
point.
this point.
That's what I'm saying. It's dumb.
Well, hold on. Repeat.
I said what it all boils down to is that I've had a lot of bourbon.
And what
Yes,
it all
you
comes
have.
down to,
Like at the age of 5
Rye
and
asked
6.
Rye.
Kev's about to
and
fall
I'm about
asleep.
to start singing guest with Billie Eilish as the guest.
At the age of
so.
5
don't
and
know
6,
any
I
of
was
this.
walking.
You do not.
Is that the most
know-
offensive thing I've said? I've done good.
Yeah.
You
If
do
that's the worst thing I've
not
said
know
today?
The new
I don't know
song
any Billie Eilish.
Guess
Oh,
with
Billie
Charlie
Eilish.
When I first saw her
XCX
name on
and
mine, I thought it was
Billie
pronounced
Eilish.
eyelash.
I'm not a Billie Eilish fan.
Oh my god!
I'm not saying she's not
Just
good.
stab Mel right
She,
in the heart.
she, right? I'm not. That's how much I know about Billie Eilish. When I
At
first
this
heard,
point, like,
I'm ready
that
to
is
start
the
singing.
most offensive thing you've said
when I
today.
first heard the name Billie Eilish, I thought it was a
I'm
guy.
just saying you would love this song.
I'm not saying I want it. I'm just saying I've never cared to
Well,
listen.
all I'm saying is when I was 5, I was walking to
Pull
the
it to the
store
side,
a mile
get all
away
up in it.
buying cigarettes and
Uphill
Pepsi
both
for my
ways?
mom.
Look, all I'm saying is
No, that was
when
the school.
I was
I did
7
ride my
years
bike
old,
to the
I-
Duke and Duchess station to pick up gallons of milk.
I
when
would
I
buy
was
cigarettes.
Like 8 or 9. You
I
would
would-
buy cigarettes?
Oh, yeah.
Gen
I
X
would
is
get
fucking
I would
like
get
that.
my mom would give me a $5
I'm not
bill.
Gen X, and we used to do that.
What are you? Are you a boomer?
No.
I'm Gen X.
No,
or
he's younger than all
Are
of
you
us.
a zen- are you a zennial?
He's
I'm the
he-
best looking boomer, and that's sad.
He's a Z.
he's
I was
he's
born
a
in
Z.
'83,
So
so,
you-
I've been told I'm Gen X.
Ooh, so you're like
or
right on the
he's
cusp.
cusp.
Hold on,
He's on the
He's-
cusp.
he's
I'm the
cusp.
Zennial micro generation,
Yeah.
or I'm elder millennial,
Yeah.
or I'm just millennial from Gen Xers who are the new boomers who
Well,
go, "Oh, you're not our generation." I'm
I
like,
don't give a shit
okay.
one
No,
way.
he's
But-
he broaches that. He's 1 foot on this side.
I remember the '80s enough to go. It was okay. It's not
sister
nearly
was-
as good as like the older Gen X's make it out to do. Yeah, Kevin was 2 years in the '80s.
My sister was born in January of '84, and she's considered an X. So
I always
whatever.
say I'm
don't
Gen
give a
X,
shit.
but I also
It's-
hung out with all my older
84 is
cousins,
like
so
the
it's kind of
cutoff.
like,
Right.
But who gives
So
a
what
shit
you're
one
saying,
way or
what I hear
another?
you saying is it's nuanced.
Yeah.
But
like I
Bing.
said, different experiences. I
would
also
get-
think it's dumb that people go, "Oh, I'm a this generation and Zoomers suck."
Right, because you were
No.
born in
I'm
this
like, when
generation.
Gen
These are
Xers
all the
thought-
things that describe you.
Yeah, Gen X did the same thing Zoomers are doing today with less technology. We're like, "Oh, our parents are so lame." That's not hip.
That's every
They're
generation.
not down with
really.
it.
Yeah.
Exactly my point. Exactly.
This episode got real heavy.
my mom would give me a $5 bill, and I would walk almost a mile to the nearest store to buy Misty Menthol Ultralights and a Pepsi. And
High
then
class.
whatever
See, I would
wanted
walk
to pick
around the
up to.
corner
I'm
with 15
texting
cents.
my kids right now who can go to McDonald's for their mom.
I walked around the corner with
both of them?
15 cents and bought a Lucy Marlboro Red.
We talked about that.
Mom
So,
did the
all right,
podcast.
we're at 2 hours.
I got one 1 minute clip to play.
Who
Let's end it on a fun note.
can go to
I
McDonald's?
feel like me going to the store with $5 to buy Misty Menthol Ultralights at the age of 5 was pretty.
No, that's
That's
that's pretty spot on. The best egg roll I've ever had in my life was from the corner store when I
Well-
was like 11.
Yeah.
This actually goes back to.
I also had like a 10-mile radius that I was allowed to play in.
100%.
You just came home when the
unsupervised. I just
streetlights
came.
came back
I just
on.
came
Yeah,
home.
Yeah, I know. I
At
hear
some
ya.
point, and I was also within range of hearing my mom yell my name.
Yeah, yeah, 100%.
I used to set my watch back and be like, Mom, my watch says 8 o'clock.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we didn't have streetlights where I grew up.
So this goes back to the almonds in your butt, Martell. I'll just play it and then
I'm
we can.
terrified by
It's
that.
asking
Yeah.
AI to write a country song.
Oh, if
It's a
this
new
is-
one though.
Oh,
This
but
might be the one that Melissa and I heard earlier,
I-
but please play.
It might be.
I asked AI to write a theme song for us.
Oh, yeah, several.
I forgot
Save
about
that. We need that. We need that.
Okay, all right, go ahead.
AI to make a hit country song called Nature's Holster.
I've heard this one.
I haven't heard this one.
They say a countryman carries a lot on his shoulders, but here's a little secret so you listen clear. I'm gonna tell you all about Nature's Holster. It's a special little pocket I got in my rear. See, a southern man got all kinds of stuff that he keeps on hand, and finding room can be tough because of blue jean pockets only hold so much. But boy, the good Lord blessed me with one in my butt. So it holds my beer, my corn, my gun, my wife, my guns, my Bible, and my hunting knife.
My Bible
Yeah,
and my hunting knife.
Yeah, all up in the butt.
My horse, my boots, my sweet iced tea, and my set of fishing poles, all three. 'Cause every country cowboy needs a place to keep all his country things.
All right, where's
Yeah, I got everything I need in my sweet caboose. It's a southern thing, I gotta keep it loose. So to make it all work, I gotta go without eating chili beans, 'cause if I fart, it comes out. My dog.
Asking AI to make a hit.
All right,
that's
All
it.
right. Now I got to go back.
Well,
and
I
find
do
it.
Okay.
highly recommend Guess by Charlie XCX with Billie
I gotta
Eilish
find
as the
your-
guest. Highly recommend. I don't care what your sexual orientation is.
God, I have to
That
roll
song
back.
is hot.
I have to roll back and find your song.
Drunk Mel 2024.
They shouldn't be that far back.
Much better in sober Mel.
Right. Who was super worried about the language that we were using. It's fine.
Yeah, it's all good. So if I don't find this in the next 5 seconds,
What are you looking for?
Oh, something that I sent to Mike and Randy.
To our listeners, thank you for hanging in. If you managed to hang in.
I may split this into 2 episodes.
Yeah, heavy topics this time.
I may split it.
Yeah, like we went from like
Deadpool and porn.
Deadpool and
To
porn
dead babies.
to
Right.
to morality.
Yeah. So I may actually split this.
Morality. Deadpool to porn.
But
to morality.
ended it with Billie Eilish, so I mean,
and AI generated songs.
Yeah, and I'm not seeing where I sent you guys the
What
links
the?
now.
Yeah, was it
It was just recently. Like,
not July 21st?
Wow,
that's
way
for
to
sure.
keep that momentum up, guys.
say hi,
hey,
Mike. Put your head up. Podcast.
Oh, here it is. Got it. Here's one. So I sent. Let me open this in my browser instead, and then we'll finish the show because
There were a couple bangers.
there were a couple.
One
good
I was
ones.
like, eh.
That one was the best. Whichever one I said we should use, or
Well, I've got to wait for it to load. Here it goes. It's taking fucking forever, of course.
What was the date on it?
I'm at around the Go the fuck away.
It was through Messenger, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
July 16th.
Shit, it was that far along.
Yeah. Let's see if it plays.
Okay, there it is.
If
Which
it
one are
doesn't,
you playing?
Whiskey Buzz,
Okay.
if it'll play. Because I did like, I don't know, I did like 3 or 4 songs.
The ones you sent to us were Whiskey Revelations,
Whiskey Buzz. Right?
Buckhorn Rebel Yell,
Yeah, that was
and
the one that was.
Whiskey Tales.
Rebel yell, she cries more.
Okay, you got it.
Rusty fights and broken dreams, late night screams, whiskey burns, the throat kills the soul, no control, dark rooms full of smoke, stories told, jokes choke, laugh louder, shout out, steal a lightning bolt, pound them back, hit record every word, absurd, buckhorn tales, unravel minds get blurred, crazy nights riding wild horses of the past, voices thunder in the dark, echoes that last. Whiskey buzz, jackpot out, talk too much, scream and shout, drunk on tails, life's a ride, no way back, demons can't hide. Skies black, thoughts deep, nothing to keep, every sip closer to the edge, moments creep. Pile the glasses up like walls, can't escape, buckhorn nights, whiskey thoughts hold no shape.
It embodies the show. That one does.
I liked Whiskey Revelations.
But Whiskey Revelations was better, and I think Buckhorn Yell was one of the better ones as well.
Because I feel like there are revelations when we're drinking whiskey.
Oh yeah. Well, I did make sure to name us in the other versions I did. So like this one. So this is this the same one? Rebel Yell?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that's the one I did.
Okay. So
The first one was not as good.
no, the first one was not as good. So Whiskey Revelation was the other one. So let's see if this one loads real quick, and then we'll.
Yeah,
That's the one I just played.
That's the one you just played. Okay.
Yeah.
So then, Rebel Yell was the other one.
Whiskey flows like a river wide. Martelle, Mike, and Randy by my side. Buckhorn tails wild as the night. Pour another glass, let's take that ride. Rough and raw, no sugarcoat. Conversations on a
That's
whiskey
amazing.
boat. Laugh and fight.
Like, AI is both the greatest thing and the worst thing ever.
Buckhorn Rebel Yell echoes in the dark. Whiskey podcast, light that spark. Martelle, Mike, and Randy raise the glass. Living life, no future, no past. No past.
This is my favorite song.
That is really good, actually.
Mike's whiskey wisdom tales from afar. Randy's got the joke stirred under his car. Martelle's guitar, strong rage of a storm. Together we break every norm. Loud and proud, no holds barred. Life on living
That's kind of my point.
Here's the thing. Out of all the instruments, I appreciate bass the most.
It's the best. I mean,
I
I could literally play some bass in right now. It would not think, by the end of the song I'd be playing it.
Literally gonna focus music and match this shit up and fade this out.
I'm good by that.
I'm picturing Nashville numbers in my head as I'm listening.
In the dark, whiskey podcast, light that spark. Macho Mike and Randy raise the glass. Living life, no future, no past. Buckhorn Rebel Yell echoes in the dark. Whiskey podcast, light that spark. Macho Mike and Randy raise the glass. Living life, no future, no past. Buckhorn